Hey guys, how's it going? Andrew here, Nuff Said Cards on Thursday evening. Hope you're all doing well. Tonight I'm going to be showing you the top 50 cards in my collection, the 2022 edition. And this is a video that I did last year. And it's one that I really enjoy preparing and ranking the cards and seeing how my collection has changed over the past year. And I thought about only doing my top 25 this year, and then I considered doing my top 50, but doing it in two separate videos. Ultimately decided to do it all in one video. So this is going to be a long video. I will try not to ramble too much. Um, One of the reasons I decided to do 50 as opposed to 25 is that I've had a lot of changes in my collection over the past year. And probably a little over a year ago, I really took a hard look at my collection and decided that I wanted to refocus a couple things. And I realized that I had a bunch of cards that I had accumulated over the years that weren't really necessarily that meaningful to me. Things that I didn't really show a lot, things that I didn't really take out a lot, and decided that I could use those things, use the funds from selling those things to be able to buy some other cards. Um, in addition to that, I've had to make some more difficult decisions about moving some things, things that I viewed as replaceable, in order to get some bigger cards that weren't going to be necessarily replaceable. Some things that just don't come up very often, and was able to pick up a few big cards this year that kind of fall in that category. Um, I, decided that I want to work towards having a collection where every card is meaningful to me. Every card is one that I want to hold on to. And I guess that's kind of a never ending process. But I'm pleased with how my collection has changed this year, and excited to show you my top 50. Um, the rankings have kind of been done loosely based on value. I didn't look anything up in VCP, so this is really just kind of what I think the value is. Wasn't really interested in spending hours looking everything up. Also, some of the cards don't really exchange very often, and so some of the data wasn't really going to be particularly useful anyway. So, anyhow, this is what I think they are based on value. If you think I've ranked anything incorrectly or think I have the value wrong, I'm not going to be discussing what I think the value is. But if you think anything's out of order, definitely please let me know in the comments. Um, Going to show you first my top 5 pickups from 2022 that do not appear in my top 50. So 5 pickups from this year that are not in my top 50. We'll get right into those. Then I have an honorable mention at the end that I'm going to show you, the last thing I'll show you in this video. We'll start with this T205 Tris speaker. This is a card that I bought in an REA auction this year. This is a SGC4. Just thought this was a really nice example. I had previously a T205 speaker, which is one of the cards that I moved at one point a couple of years ago. But was very pleased to add that one this year. I think it's a nice looking example. Next up, I showed this one not too long ago. This is 1924 Milhoff and Company Albert Einstein from the Men of Genius set. This is a PSA 6. And this is Einstein's first appearance on a trading card. And there aren't a ton of these out there. They don't come up all that often, so I was definitely excited to pick that one up. Next up is this 1950 Bowman Yogi Berra card. Always liked this image, and got this at one of the Philly shows this year. When I saw this one, I just really thought it was a nice looking card. The color is very bold and bright. Centering is pretty good. I got a really good deal on that card also, so I was happy with that. Next up, a card I showed in my last video. I got this very recently, also at one of the Philly shows, is the N76 Duke Sons and Company Abraham Lincoln from the Great American set, and this is a PSA 2. Really strong image on the front there. Has some staining on the back from scrapbook removal. But this is a set that I just kind of recently started looking at, and was really excited to get this one. There's a few others that I would like to add as well. And finally, 1949 Bowman Roy Campanella. This is a PSA 4. And this one is kind of a head scratcher if you ask me. I have no idea why this is only a 4. This is probably one of the nicer examples of this card that I've ever seen. When you consider the registration, the color, the centering, just a beautiful card. No clue why that one is just a 4, but was really happy to add that this year. Now we will get into the top 50. Number 50 is a 1921 Oxford Confectionery Grover Cleveland Alexander from the E253 set. This is a SGC 4. And you're going to see a couple cards from this set in my top 50. And I've always liked this set. I like the checklist on the back. A ton of Hall of Famers in this set. Kind of like the writing up top there. And the images that appear in this set are unique. You won't see them in any other set. So I've always been a fan of that. Some people don't like the kind of crude black and white images. I think they're pretty awesome. Number 49 is this 1890 Mayo's Cut Plug John L. Sullivan from the N310 set. This is a SGC 1. And this one I got at a Philly show. Actually, my friend Mike Armstrong found this for me at the show. He knew that I was looking for John L. Sullivan cards from his fighting days, and definitely would like to add some more. You don't see a ton of them, but definitely a fan of John L. Sullivan. Hope to maybe get a few next year. Number 48. This is 1906 to 1907 Sporting Life team postcard from the W601 series, the Boston American League. And have Cy Young there on the top, Jimmy Collins. And I really like this set. There's 8 from the National League, 8 from the American League, and these are very difficult to find. They don't come up a lot. I think there's less than 10 known, or 10 graded anyway, of each team. So always looking to pick those up when I see them. That was number 48. Number 47, 1949 Leaf Joe DiMaggio. This is a PSA 2. This one was a gift from my brother. And very nice example, really good registration. Just something that I always look for. Number 46, another 49 Leaf PSA 2. This one's Ted Williams. Really like this one also. Again, good registration. Sometimes these are really blurry. Good color. Probably very similar in value to the Joe DiMaggio, but since I'm a Boston fan, Teddy Ballgame gets ranked higher. All right, that was 46. Number 45. Another card from the E253 Oxford Confectionery set. This is Walter Johnson. This is a PSA 2. And kind of neat on this one is that he's batting. I don't know that there's another Walter Johnson card that shows him holding a bat, but I always like this image. This one does have some creasing and pretty well-rounded corners, but the image is pretty strong. Really like this card. And you don't see these come up a ton either. That was number 45. Number 44 is this 1955 Topps Sandy Koufax rookie card. This is a PSA 5. Really thought this one had strong eye appeal when I picked it up. Nicely centered, good color, not a lot of snow on the surface there. So always liked that one also. Would love to get a Clemente at some point. to pair with the Koufax there. That was 44. Number 43. This is a real photo postcard of the Pittsburgh Pirates team from the 1910s. I'm not sure exactly the year. I think this may be from spring training. And this is a card that I got raw and had graded by SGC. And you can see Honus Wagner on the right there. There's a couple other Hall of Famers. Barney Dreyfuss, I think Fred Clark is in here. Some other notable players from early Pirates team. Number 42 is T206 Eddie Collins. This is a PSA 5. Pretty nice example of this card. The registration is not perfect on this one, but everything else about this card I like. Got this one years ago. Pretty cheap. Happy to have that one in the collection. All right, and number 41 is a 1921 Exhibits Walter Johnson. This is a card that I picked up this year. Always liked this image. I think it's really cool. Walter Johnson and his kind of wind up there. And some neat stuff going on in the background. You can see the gentleman there in the stands with the top hat and a old-fashioned water cooler there in the dugout. Just always liked that one. 1921 exhibits are pretty awesome. You will see one other 21 exhibits in this video. All right, so that was number 41. Number 40 is this 1910 sepia postcard from the PC 796 set, Napoleon Lajoie. This is a SGC 2. And this is another one that I bought raw a couple years ago and had graded. Really liked the images in this set. There's definitely a few others that I would like to add. That was number 40. Number 39. Number 39 is a T206 Ed Walsh portrait, PSA 5. And this is a very nice example of this card. It would not grade a 5 if submitted today, but nice color. I always like the kind of unique background color on this card, how it contrasts with the really dark Chicago jersey there. And these are pretty tough to find with eye appeal like this. So was happy to add that one. It's another one that I bought a long time ago. That was 39. Number 38. I think I may have bought this one the same day as the Walsh. This is a T206 Mordecai 3 Fingers Brown portrait, also a PSA 5. Very nice example of this card. The Sweet Cap 150 back. Number 37 is a T205 Christy Mathewson. This is a SGC 3.5. And this is one of 2 cards that my father gave me. And one of 2 cards that I remember him buying on the same day when I was probably 12 years old in the mid-'80s. And he paid $20 for this card. And he gave it, along with the other one that you'll see in a little while, he gave them to me on my 30th birthday. And then I had them graded a few years ago. T205 Matty. That was number 37. Number 36 is a Sporting Life Tris speaker from the M116 set. This is a SGC3. And this is another one that I picked up this year. And this is one of the nicer images from this set, in my opinion. I think it would have been awesome if this image was used in the T206 set. I never really loved the T206 image of Tris speaker. This is from one of the later series, and this one is pretty tough to find, along with Smokey Joe Wood, which is one I would like to add to the collection at some point, but you just don't see them come up a ton. That was number 36. Number 35, T206 Cy Young portrait. This is a PSA 1.5. Definitely graded properly, but I really think this one has nice eye appeal for the grade. Nice dark background. Some of them are a little bit lighter. I think the dark green looks nice, and very good registration on this one. T206 Young portrait. Number 34, E95 Eddie Plank. SGC 2.5. Another one that looks pretty nice for the grade, in my opinion. It's not centered perfectly, but very nice color. There's like a little, probably won't even be able to see it, little like defect on the left border there that may be why it graded so low. Also a little bit staining on the back. But really nice image of Eddie Plank there. See if I can get through this video without knocking all these stands over. Okay, number 33. T206 Napoleon Lajoie portrait. This is a PSA 4.5. One of my favorite portraits in the set. Piedmont 350. All right, number 32. This is a 1908 A.C. Williams postcard of Cy Young. Cy delivering the goods. And this is a SGC 1.5. I bought this years ago, raw, and I had it graded myself. I've talked about this one before. There's a really cool message that talks about Cy Young Day, where this postcard was distributed, and got this at a Chantilly show many years ago. Actually had negotiated for the card and couldn't come to a deal, and I left and went home and then changed my mind and drove back and got it. So very pleased to have that one. That was number 32. Number 31, another Cy Young. This is from the 1909 to 1911 American Caramel E90-1 set. And this is Cy Young as a member of the Boston Americans. This is a SGC 3. Okay, number 30. Another PC 796 postcard. This one's Tris speaker. Another one that I bought raw, and just a really cool image on this one. You'll find this same image in the Novelty Cutlery postcard from the same era, just with the background taken out. But just always like the Boston uniform there. The collar turned up. Just an awesome image of Tris Speaker. That was number 30. Number 29. T205 Cy Young. This is a Sovereign back. And when I bought this, it was a 3. It was a BVG 3. And I cracked it out. Excuse me. Sent it to SGC and it came back as a 3.5. So obviously thrilled with that. Plus I think it looks a lot better in the SGC slab. Love the T205s. T205 Walter Johnson is a card that I've been looking for a while. Just can't find one that's centered nicely. That was number 29. Number 28. This is another pickup from this year. 1958 to 1959, Tupanamba Pele rookie era card. I'll say rookie era. He had a lot of cards. I think he had one card that came out in 1957 that there's like 1 or 2 known examples of. So not his rookie, but very early Pele card. This is a SGC 1. I think because of the centering. Also, there's a little crease down the bottom, but nice image on that one. What I liked about this card is that this was actually issued in Brazil. Thought that the picture on the front was pretty cool. His face there inside the soccer ball, inside the net in the background there. And Pele on the bottom. Actually, way overpaid for this, but happy to have it. This was a 2022 pickup also. All right, that was 28. Number 27, 1939 play ball Ted Williams. This is a PSA 2. And the front looks probably more like a 4.5, maybe even a 5. Just a really strong example. The back is not terrible. You can see there's some scuffing there kind of in the empty area in the middle there, which is, excuse me, which is why I got a 2. Got this one years ago. Paid something like $700 for this card. And obviously pleased to have that one. They have gone up in value a lot. Number 26, T206 Ty Cobb portrait with the red background. This is a PSA 1.5. And when I bought this one, it was a 1 in a really old holder. And I actually had it graded again, or evaluated at this year's National, and they bumped it up to a 1.5. Has some residue on the back there from being removed from a scrapbook. But no paper loss. You can still read the whole back, and really nice central image there on the front. Very good registration. Has kind of like a lighter, almost orange background there. Some of them are really dark. All right, that was number 26. Now we're into the top 25. And number 25 is T206 Cobb with the green background. Wasn't really sure on the red where to rank that one. I kind of bumped it up based on the eye appeal. Not really sure what the actual value is, but this one here is the other card that my father purchased in the mid-'80s, along with the Christy Mathewson, and also paid $20 for this card. I remember the day. And also gave me this one on my 30th birthday. It cost more to grade this card than what he paid for it. All right, number 24. T205 Ty Cobb PSA 3.5. Acquired this one in a trade a couple years ago at a show with a dealer. T205s are much more difficult to find than T206s. And really liked the image on this one. You'll hear me over and over again referring to the registration, which is always something that I look for. Some of the cards that I purchased really a long time ago when I started getting back into collecting, wasn't really paying as much attention to registration, but it's definitely something that I focus on now. Not sure if this card would grade a 3.5 if submitted now, but very nice example nonetheless. That was number 24. Number 23, 1912 T227 Ty Cobb SGC2 with the honest long cut back. These also come with a miner's tobacco back, which is slightly scarcer. I don't know that there's any premium for those, but always like this card. A lot of information on the back there. You can see some statistics, batting averages, and a larger card than what you'll typically see from that era. Number 22. This one and the next one are two cards that I really had trouble deciding where to rank and how to value these. There's 3 known examples of this card, or graded examples anyway, and this is the highest graded at 1.5. And I'll just show these together. Number 19 is from the same set, Walter Johnson. 3 known examples of each of these, and I did a video on these and the story of how I purchased these from a overseas seller. I bought these raw, took a risk, and extremely pleased that I did, because these are just so hard to find. And I really love these. These, I think it's a 130 card set, all pitchers, and this is a Cuban set. So those don't come up very often at all. Even when commons will come up, they, which isn't that frequent, they go for a good amount usually. Pretty interesting set. So that was number 20 and number 19. Number 18. These out of order here. I'm sorry. That was got my numbering screwed up. That was number 22 and number 21. Number 21 was the Walter Johnson. Number 20 is the T206 Ty Cobb Bat Off SGC3. And this one has a polar bear back, which I think is my favorite back of all the T206s. Not sure, I don't remember how many backs there are, 13 or 15 or something. Really always liked the polar bear back, and thought this was a really nice example. The last one that I need to get all 4 of the T206 Cobbs is the Bat On. I actually bid on one in a recent Heritage auction, but did not win the card. So I will wait for the right one to come along. That's not a particularly scarce card. I'll wait till one that I really like and also can get at a good price. That was number 20. Number 19 is T206 Portrait of Walter Johnson. This is the SGC5. Try to get the glare off there. Very nice example of this card also, in my opinion. Would not grade a 5 if submitted today. The corners are not 5 corners, but Bought this one years ago, and this card has gone up in value a lot since I bought it. It has the Piedmont 150 back. Again, so that is number 19, Walter Johnson portrait. Number 18, 1951 Bowman Willie Mays rookie card in an SGC4. And this one is a little bit more off center than what I would like, but the color and clarity on this card is really strong. And if you look at enough of these, you'll know what I'm talking about. A lot of times you'll see the roller marks down through the middle of the card, or the face will be a little bit blurry. This one is really clear. No print defects on this card, so I was willing to accept a little bit more off center of a card. That was number 18. Number 17, 1957 Bill Russell rookie card. This is a SGC 5. Got this one at the National a few years ago. And I had looked around for about 2 days and had narrowed it down to Bill Russell rookie and a Sport Kings Babe Ruth card. And decided I was going to get the Ruth. Went back to get it, and it had just sold. Still very pleased to have this in the collection. Another card that if you looked at enough of these, you'll know that they're very hard to find without too much snow. This one does have some, but pretty clean for this issue. And also his face is not blurry like a lot of them are. Bill Russell rookie, that was number 17. Number 16 is the 1922 Nielsen's Chocolate Babe Ruth V61 set, and this is a Type 1. There's Type 1 and Type 2. Type 1 has the card number on the front there, and also has this style of back with the kind of cool script there, Nielsen's. The Type 2 has a little bit more plain of a back and no number on the front, but the same picture. SGC 1.5. Number 15 is the 1911 to 1914 D304 Ty Cobb. This one has the General Baking back. There's 5 different backs that you can find in this set. 2 of them, Martin's Bread and Weber, are extremely scarce. There's also this one, General Baking, Brunner's Bread, and I think Buttercrust is the 5th one. But even when you combine all 5 of the different backs, this is a pretty scarce card. I'm not sure how many there are. I'd say less than 50. I don't remember exactly. Maybe less than that. And my friend Brian Roth helped me get this one. He saw it online and knew that I was looking for the card, and was actually able to trade for that card. Thanks again, Brian, for that one. Number 14. 1921 Oxford Confectionery Babe Ruth. This is the 3rd card that appears in this video from that set. And this is a PSA 2. I searched for this card for probably in excess of 2 years and finally was able to find this one, and actually drove up to Pennsylvania to meet the seller. Pick this one up, and just absolutely love that card. All right, right, that was number 14. Number 13 is the 1925 Champion Exhibit Babe Ruth card. This is a SGC2. Extremely scarce card. I think there's around 20 graded examples of this one. There's also the regular 1925 Exhibits Babe Ruth card. Sorry for my dog barking in the background there. Got this one in an REA auction a couple years ago. And very glad that I did. That was number 13. Number 12 is the 1923 Willard's Chocolates from the V100 set. This is the SGC2. And another card that, although it's graded correctly, really strong for the grade. It does have a crease in the bottom left corner there. I just really love the sepia look to this set, and just awesome pose there. Babe Ruth with the follow through. Got that one in an eBay auction a couple years ago. Could not believe I won it for the price I got it for. That was number 12. Number 11, 1949 Leaf Jackie rookie PSA 4. Got this one at the National this year. And really love this card. Centered very well. Does have some rounding in the corners, particularly that top right corner. But pretty nice color. It does have a little bit of the wet sheet transfer, but the registration is really nice. Like I said, the centering is nice. And really just thrilled to have that one. Number 10, from the 1888 N162 Goodwin Champion set. This is King Kelly in a PSA 4. In my opinion, this one of, if not the nicest images on a baseball card ever made. Just absolutely love this card. Got this in an REA auction also a few years ago. And at some point would like to get the Cap Anson also from this set, but it's a very expensive card. Doesn't come up a ton. We'll put that one here. That was number 10. Number 9, from the 1921 exhibit set, Babe Ruth SGC 3.5. I've always loved this image. Ruth fielding with the tear in his pants and his belt buckle kind of pushed over to the side, and the old style glove. You can see his cleats there. I used to own this card in a PSA 2, but I traded it for one of the cards that you're going to see in a minute. So had to pick up another one. Really love this card and was able to get this at a Chantilly show a few years ago. 1921 exhibit, Ruth SGC 3.5. That was number 9. Number 8, E220 National Caramel Babe Ruth SGC 1.5. This is another one that's pretty tough to find. Believe it or not, this is relatively well centered for this issue. They're typically miscut horribly, sometimes diamond cut, but like the image on this one, the American flag in the background there. Got this one at the White Plains show a couple years ago. And these have gotten more and more difficult to find. You just don't see them very often. That was number 8. Number 7, another Babe Ruth from 1932 U.S. Caramel set. This is the SGC 3. Just love this card. And on the back there, United States Caramel Company, East Boston, Mass. And when my great-grandparents on my mother's side came to this country, they settled in East Boston. So I always liked that about this card also. There's a few others from that set I would love to pick up. The Gehrig, Bobby Jones. It's a multi-sport set. Definitely like to get the Bobby Jones. That was number 7. Number 6 is the E103 Williams Caramel Honus Wagner. Glare's a little messed up there. That's on the sleeve. But this is a PSA 3. These are blank backs. Bought this one off of Net 54 a couple of years ago. That was number 6. Number 5 is a D322 Tip Top Bred Honus Wagner from 1910. This set is all Pittsburgh Pirates, produced the year after they won the World Series, the 1909 World Series. And the Wagner, of course, is the biggest card from the set. This is a SGC2. Does have the big crease across the forehead there, but these are very tough. This is the kind of card, you know, happy to have in any condition, really. And when I traded my PSA 2 Ruth exhibit, 1921 exhibit a couple years ago, this was in the trade also. This is what I received. All right, that was number 5. Number 4, 1909 T204 Ramley Walter Johnson, PSA 3. This is one of my favorite cards in my collection. I think this set is beautiful. Some people don't like this set. I guess it's the kind of thing you either love it or hate it. I love this set. This is the biggest card in the set. And purchased this one from a friend of mine who's a dealer a couple of years ago. I had been begging for him to sell me that card for a while, and he needed some money for something, and worked out well for me. All right, the top 3. Number 3, 1916 Famous and Bar Joe Jackson, SGC 4. Just a beautiful card. Famous Conlon image there, the same image that's on his Cracker Jack cards. And got this at the Chicago National a few years ago. Love that one. All right, number 2, this is a new acquisition from 2022. 1903 Bryce Williams Cy Young, the E107 set. Absolutely love this card. I pull this card out all the time and just look at it and just kind of in awe of this card. Just so happy to own it. It's SGC1 for obvious reasons. I believe there's about 12 of these known to exist. Another one that, you know, just happy to have this in any condition. The image itself is not terrible. All the damage is kind of on the left there. All the severe damage anyway. Bought this from a friend of mine. I had to move a bunch of stuff to be able to afford this, but just so pleased to have that in my collection. And number 1 is unchanged from last year, likely to continue to be number 1 in my collection, the E121 Babe Ruth pitching pose from the Series of 80, 1921 American Caramel, SGC 3. Absolutely love this card. It's Babe Ruth in a Boston uniform, despite obviously being on the Yankees in 1921. And there's the back. There's 3 other Ruth cards from the the E121 set, the series of 120 that came out in 1922. There's the Ruth holding the bird, the montage, and the Ruth holding the ball. But I always like this one because it shows him in the Boston uniform. And that's it. That's my top 50. The one card that I will show as an honorable mention, this is probably my favorite item in my collection, not considering value. And this is my postcard from 1914. That is the Eastman Hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where the Red Sox would stay during spring training. And this postcard was sent by Joe Lannon, who was the owner of the Red Sox, to Nuff Said McGravy, obviously the inspiration for my channel name, and talks about going for the pennant from the beginning. 1914. Absolutely love that. Got that off of eBay for a little over 200 bucks and just absolutely love that. So that's it, guys. My top 50 from 2022. Probably do another video pretty soon for my goals for 2023. There's a bunch of cards that I would like to pick up. I've kind of prioritized what I'm looking for. But that's enough for today, almost 47 minutes. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. I will talk to you guys soon. And for those of you that have not done top 50 or top 25 videos, I would encourage you to do so. I love seeing videos like this. So thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye.